Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to O'Neill's Grill for our weekly fan and press luncheon with JMU basketball coaches as we're coming down to the home stretch of the regular season for the JMU women's basketball Dukes. They'll entertain the College of Charleston in their final regular season home game on Wednesday night. This past week, a couple more wins as the Dukes have for the 6th consecutive season posted 25 victories, and for the 10th consecutive season, 24 or more wins. And as of Friday night, the outright champions of the Colonial Athletic Association after defeating the Northeastern Huskies 82-47, and then yesterday on the road beating Delaware 74-71. So first of all, Coach Brooks, congratulations on yet another CAA regular season title. It's nice to have that, but there's more work to be done.
You're exactly right, Kurt. It's an accomplishment in itself. We're very proud of that. It never grows old when you can win a championship, but it was good. The kids, really appreciated it, but they understand we have, more goals in mind, and so we really had to quick turnaround. Didn't have much time to celebrate it. We had to get ready for what we knew was going to be a battle, playing against the University of Delaware on Senior Day. So we're excited. We're excited. We'll reflect back on it maybe when the season's over with to understand that we are regular season champions. Myself, I take a lot of pride in that because it's a body of work. It's not just over a weekend. The Ivy League sometimes I think has it right. That their automatic regular season champion goes and represents them in the NCAA tournament. But we still have work to do, and we're looking forward to that opportunity.
Northeastern was the last place team, is the last place team in the CAA, and you faced them there on Friday night at the Convocation Center, 82-47 the final. But as you look at the first half, you were talking about they do have some quality players and a better team than what their record showed. Of course, your team also prevailed in the second half. Chat a little bit about that ball game Friday.
Well, we knew going in that they have very talented players. Their backcourt, their starting backcourt are both seniors, so they've had some success against us in the past. They're not just seniors. Both of them are capable of putting up good numbers, and we knew that. They have one of the more talented players in the league in Dufries. I think she played extremely well against us in the first half. She causes a lot of problems for us, and they're well coached. They've had, I think, 15 of their 21 losses were by single digits. So they're in just about every game that they play. They just haven't had a whole lot of luck, trying to get accustomed to new coaching staff, new philosophies and whatnot. They just haven't had very much luck. But we knew it was going to be a challenge for us, and coming off of a loss, you never know. You hope you know what your kid's mindset's going to be, but you never know. And I'm not really sure we got off to a slow start. I just thought we really didn't dig in as much as we would have liked on the defensive end. And as a staff, we talked about it at halftime. A lot of teams would kill to have a defense that only allowed 25 points in the first half. But we were just fretting over it, thinking that we could have done better, and we actually did. In the second half, we came out, I think we held them to 22 points. So collectively, that's a really good game defensively. And I thought our kids dug in, and they actually did something in the second half that I've been here for 13 years and it's never happened. They actually smacked the floor to show solidarity, and we're going to get a stop. And they did, and it was really good. It let me know that they are understanding that our message is that we got to be really good on defense in order for us to get where we want to be on offense and to get some comfortable wins. And so it was a good effort by all, and I was very proud of the kids.
The time between the loss to Hofstra and the Northeastern game, it was obviously a different week in preparation coming off of a loss. Give us a sense of how your preparation was after that loss going into Northeastern.
It was a long week. The CAA gods gave us an extra day to prepare for that game on Friday. Normally we play on Thursday, but we were playing on Friday this time around, and just anxious, just wanting to get back out on the court. We got some practice time, and this time of the year, getting practice time, you don't really know what to do with it. You don't know if you want to, run up and down the court, try to get kids into different rhythms, because you don't want to put that wear and tear on their body. These kids, right now, we've been practicing since October. So it's a very long season. We have to have one of the longest seasons of all college sports. It spans over two semesters, and it's just taxing on the kids mentally and physically. So we didn't want to do a whole lot, but we wanted to keep them in rhythm. And so we came out. And we just, the message all week was don't panic. We're still the team that, has won 14 out of 15, who have won 23 out of 26. We're still that same team, just because we lost by 1 point to Hofstra doesn't mean that we need to go and revamp everything. Only thing we need to do is just pay more close attention to certain areas. And I thought we did that this past weekend, and we came away with a great win on Friday. We knew it was going to be a struggle on Sunday, only 1 day of prep and traveling at the same time, playing against a Delaware team who was celebrating Senior Day, and we knew it was going to be a challenge. So, but I thought we came through the whole weekend with flying colors, very happy with what we done, and as we prepare for our last game.
Yeah, win number 25 was not one of the easier wins, coming from an 11-point first-half deficit. And back-to-back very good offensive games now for Jasmine Guathme, who early in the season was struggling to get some offensive rhythm because of rhythms and foul situations more so. Good to see her starting to emerge during this time of the year, because it can give you certainly another weapon.
Great for me, and it does. I thought Jazz carried us in the first half of this game. I think basically both halves. She did a fantastic job in Northeastern of carrying us in the first half. And honestly speaking, if it weren't for her production in the first half of yesterday's game, I don't know if we would have had a chance to win. Even with her playing well, at one point we were down by 11, as you mentioned. And she carried us because Precious struggled in the first half. Lady Okafor struggled in the first half, and Jazz was pretty much our offense that really kept us afloat. I think Ashley Perez hit a three or so. But it really kept us in the basketball game within striking distance. We were able to cut the lead, actually even take the lead in the first half. And then, throughout the second half, she continued to score. Normally she scores in spurts. She might score them all in the first half and don't really score in the second half, or vice versa. And she did it over the span of the whole game this time. We went to her a couple times down the stretch, isolation plays, and she came up big for us. But one of the biggest things that she did all game that might not show up in the stat sheet is that she stayed in the game. She got her third foul, I think it was, with maybe 12 minutes to go in the game, and she didn't come out. She played. We played through, and I don't think she picked up her fourth foul until maybe 4 minutes to go in the game, and then she still finished out the basketball game. And if she didn't do that, with the way she played defense, the way she was all over the place, I don't know if we would have won the basketball game. And then she showed some grit. She showed some toughness because she got hurt. She hyperextended her knee. Friendly fire, Precious fell into her and hyperextended her knee. And when I went out to talk to her, I wasn't sure whether or not she would return in the game because I knew she was in some pain. But she came back in and finished out the half, finished out the game, and we needed every minute of her production from her.
As you do have the final regular season game on Wednesday night against the College of Charleston, of course, then the conference tournament is the following weekend. Philosophically, Coach Brooks, you dominated so many opponents early in the conference schedule, and now the last 3 or 4 games, it's been a little bit more of a challenge. You've been in tighter affairs. Is that a good thing to do when you're getting into this time of the year when, well, you could be looking at very tight games, quite honestly, in postseason play?
I don't know if it's a good thing. I just think it's a thing.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just a thing. Never would I want to wish that upon us. That, hey, let's have a couple close games, or I hope that we have a couple close games. It's not good for my blood pressure. But we have to understand, and we've been preaching this to the kids, that we're going to get everyone's best shot. Everyone's best shot. And I thought we've handled that well up until maybe the last couple games, where we're trying to give them our best shot. And when a team has some success against you, it becomes a copycat league. Hofstra had some success against us doing certain things. Not only did it give Hofstra some confidence, it gave the rest of the league some confidence. And the way Delaware came out and played us, it was almost a mirror image of what Hofstra tried to do. I don't know if College of Charleston is going to try to do it too, but now we've seen it. And now we've seen it. We can adjust to it as well. You look at Hofstra, and I don't know if it was their Super Bowl, but they come back and they're down by 24 to Elon at home in the first half. So we just have to understand that regardless of what other teams are trying to do to us, if we take care of business on our end, we're going to be fine. And if we go out and match and exceed everyone else's intensity, we'll be fine. Because everyone's going to come out with renewed confidence, renewed hope that they can come out and they can play with us regardless if we beat them by 30 2 weeks ago. They'll come out and they'll play just like Delaware did with renewed enthusiasm. And we have to understand that and have responsibility to go out and play as hard or even harder than what they play.
All right, we're talking with JMU women's basketball coach Kenny Brooks here at O'Neill's Grill on University Boulevard. And now we'll open it up to other members of the media here this afternoon.
With how the last 3 games have gone, what vulnerabilities, if any, is the team still trying to work through as you get into the postseason?
I don't know if we're vulnerable. I mean, obviously we have some areas we need to work on. I think the biggest area is that we need to, like I said before, it's to match and exceed other people's intensity. You know, I thought when we played against Hofstra, you know, a week or so ago, I just thought they played harder than we did. We came out against Northeastern. I thought we were playing harder than they did, but we went up to Delaware, ran into a situation where we knew it was going to be an emotional basketball game because they were celebrating their seniors. We had just played them and beat them pretty badly a couple weeks ago. We just have to be ready for that. And I think our kids, you know, we're going to play on senior night ourselves, so I think we'll have, you know, emotion for that game. And I think as we head into the tournament, something we've been looking forward to, I think our kids will be ready for that as well. So we just need to go out and be ourselves and play. And I don't know if we're vulnerable in certain situations or not, but we just need to go out. The only place I think we're vulnerable is if we don't come out and play hard.
Ahead of senior night, you said it's going to be an emotional, and how do you see that being emotional on Wednesday, and how do you anticipate, you know, trying to manage that?
Well, you never can. You can anticipate it. Every year is different. Last year, I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it to the game, you know, because Nikki and Kirby were seniors, and I've known those 2 kids since they were 10 years old. This year is going to be, you know, a different kind of emotion, albeit you're still going to be sad because Toya Jiggets, what she's meant to this program. She's really come in and been one of the smartest players that I've had. You know, a kid who has sacrificed a lot for this program. Lady Okafor, you know, you can argue that we wouldn't be in this situation right now. We're 25-3. I don't know if we're 25-3 if she doesn't make a commitment last summer to get herself in the best shape of her life, to go out to handle the rigors of a season and handle it well. And both of those kids, they're great kids. They're great ambassadors for our university, for this program. And it's going to be very sad to see them leave, you know, once their last game is played here. And you know, last game at the Convocation Center, you know, it's going to be emotional. So, but we're going to have to, you know, let the emotion, you know, run free and tears flow freely. And, you know, hopefully by 1 minute into the game, you know, we're focused back on the basketball game.
There is more basketball to be played after that game, but what is, I guess, the footprint that Lauren and Toya will leave this program?
Well, I mean, I think both of them have done a fantastic job. Both of them played in the shadows of other players very patiently. They've learned a lot, and, you know, now it's their turn to lead, to run this program, and they've done a fantastic job at that. And now hopefully they can reap the benefits of that, you know, leaving as a champion. And, you know, every year, you know, the underclassmen, the coaching staffs, we kind of motivate ourselves. You know, we want to do it. We want to do it for the team, but, you know, you also want to give a little extra oomph to do it for the seniors. And I think this is a great opportunity to show them our appreciation for all their hard work and sacrifices that they've done for this program. And it's an opportunity for us to try to send them out as champions. And that's something that we've done here for a long time, and we've been pretty successful at it.
Coach, in listening to the game yesterday, David and Nikki kept talking about the lack of communication, especially on the defensive end. What do you think led to that, and then how did you get your team kind of out of that funk and get them communicating better?
If I told you, then I have to kill you because this is on radio and everybody else knows. But you know, it's just it's sport, and I've said that, you know, several times over the last couple weeks. You know, we're a good defensive team, and just like everyone else, we have lapses, and we had a couple instances where we did not communicate, and we just had some breakdowns. You know, the biggest play in my mind was when Muff got set with a screen, and you know, it could have been very damaging to us, you know, because it could have knocked her out of the game, and it was just a lack of communication. You know, we didn't call out the screen, and she got hit pretty hard. Several instances like that, and I just thought we didn't have the collectiveness, and that was actually my message to the team at halftime, is that you can have 3 people on the same page or even 4 people on the same page, but if the 5th person is not, then, you know, we're not a tight-knit group, and we have to play as a group and not as individuals in order for us to be successful. So, you know, we had a couple lapses in that area. You know, we got a couple weeks to shore it up, and that's going to be a focus of ours.
You talked earlier about keeping rhythm in practice and how difficult it is this time of the year. Once you get through Wednesday's game, you've got some time off before the conference tournament. How do you plan to utilize that time and still maintain that rhythm?
It's tough. It's tough every year. I mean, we pretty much have the same routine. We've been fortunate the last few years where we get a first-round bye. But sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. We're going to play on Wednesday night, and for whatever reason, we play on Wednesday night instead of a Thursday night, and we'll have 9 days before we play again. And it's kind of bad for us because we're waiting for an opponent who they get to shake the rust off the night before. We don't know who our opponent's going to be, so we can't really just lock in and prepare for that one opponent. And so now you wonder, do you give them rest time, or are you going to try to make sure that you're fine-tuning your offenses, your defenses, and whatnot? So it's a good time. It's also a difficult time. I think this week, this year's tournament, we're going to use it for some rest. We have some kids who are limping to the finish line, so to speak. We have some older bones that we need to rest, and then hopefully we'll just continue to stay sharp as we head into the tournament, and hopefully our rest and enthusiasm will take over any kind of rust that we may have.
How do you balance preparing for your postseason and then being a dad and watching your girls play in their postseason?
Brand new for me. They've never been in postseason before, so we've been juggling it. It's funny. I'll talk to my wife, and now we're talking about schedules. We're talking about schedules. Okay, you play on Wednesday. The girls are now playing on Tuesday. If they win on Tuesday, they play on Thursday. And then hopefully if they win on Thursday, then they'll play over the weekend, which all works out for me. Fantastic. We've even talked about if they're fortunate enough to make it to the state tournament. I think it's now we don't have a CAA banquet, so now I can get to those games. Just a little bit more traveling that I'll have to do, but it's well worth it. It's well worth it. One of the biggest joys I've ever had in sport is watching them play on the same team and having success. And it's been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, you look a lot more nervous in the stands watching the Spotswood girls play than you do when your girls are actually playing at JMU. And it is because your dad, and you want things to go well, and it's been a joy. It's been a lot of fun. So it's all working out. Thanks for the snow.
All right, Coach Kenny Brooks, the Dukes facing the Cougars of the College of Charleston. That is Wednesday night. Final regular season home game. Be sure to be in the stands early so you can see the pregame senior ceremony. Again, the seniors to be recognized, Lauren Okafor and Toya Jiggets. Thank you for joining us this afternoon with Coach Brooks. Congratulations on the regular season title once again, and now go win a CA championship tournament. And that again will start for the Dukes on March the 13th at noon. Their opponent to be decided. In just a few moments, we'll have JMU men's basketball coach Matt Brady of the co-champions of the regular season of CA men's basketball in just a moment.